Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to make the changes to Peppermint for the new hosted environment that Peppermint are moving to. I sent an email out on Wednesday with an attachment with the instructions that Peppermint sent out to us. Hopefully you'll save that to your desktop. You'll need to open that document from your desktop, and you'll need that along with Internet Explorer, which you're going to refer to, and this video that you can also watch side by side with the instructions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step you through the processes of how to upgrade the software and try and make it as simple as possible for everyone. It should take about 15 to 20 minutes to do in total, but you will need to make sure that before you do anything in Peppermint, you make this change. Without these changes, effectively you're not going to be working in the live environment anymore. So it's absolutely essential that this change is made before you do anything in the live environment. Okay, so let's just open those documents that we need. Okay, so I've got the Peppermint document, the instructions on what we're going to be doing today, and I've got an Internet Explorer browser session open here as well. Okay, if we go down to the first section, the changes we make. Okay, so basically this section is saying that ideally we want Internet Explorer 11 to be installed on our PCs. I think most of you have got Internet Explorer 11 installed. If you haven't, you need to raise a ticket for it, but these instructions will still work as long as it's not less than Internet Explorer level 9. So I don't think we've got anybody on Internet Explorer 9 or lower, so hopefully everyone's on 11. If you need to check what level you're on, you can go to Internet Explorer, click on Help, go to About Internet Explorer, and that will tell you what level you're currently on. If you're not on Internet Explorer 11, which ideally you need to be on, if you can raise a ticket for that via the Internet portal, at some point we'll upgrade you, but it's not essential for these instructions. Click Close on that, and we'll go back to the instructions. So the first section is to update the information in the trusted site section. So here you can see in the bold areas throughout the document, these are the sections where it's telling us to navigate to, and then you'll get the blue sections underneath, which you can copy just by highlighting them. And I'll be, throughout the document, we'll be copying and pasting from this document. Okay, so how do we copy this section, this URL? All we do is we hold down the right button on the mouse, drag it across the text or the URL so that you've just got that section highlighted. Right click on your mouse and copy. Okay, so just go over that once more. Hold down the right mouse button, drag across the text or the URL, right click and copy. So once we've got the URL that we need to make the change for, what we'll do is we'll navigate to this section within the Internet Explorer. Let's just close this down. Click on Tools, Internet Options, Security Settings is the area that it wanted us to go. Trusted Sites, click on the button. Okay, so we've got, because we're already on, or I'm already on a page within Internet Explorer that's opened up by default, it's offering me that section to add, which is not the section I want to add. So just highlight that again by clicking the right button on your mouse down, drag across, and delete, because we're not adding that. Now, because we've already copied the previous section from the document, right click, paste. Let's paste the new section in there. Okay, so we've got the new section pasted in there. All we need to do now is click Add. and that's added it to the list. Click close, click OK, and that's closed that section down. We can now toggle back to the document. So trusted sites is completed. It gives us a bit more information here about trusted sites, but it's not really relevant at the moment. We don't really need to know, so we can move straight to the next section. Again, the areas are highlighted in bold where we need to go to, and the changes that we need to make are highlighted in blue. So these are the new URLs that we need to add to our local intranet site. So we'll move back to Internet Explorer, click on Tools, Internet Options, Security, Local Intranet Site, click on Sites. Now here we needed to click on the Advanced section, I think. Let's just go back and check that. Yeah, so let's click on the Advanced button. Again, we've got the default entry because of the page that we're currently sitting on, so we'll remove that. Back to the document. Again, hold down the right click button on your mouse, drag across, right click, copy. Back to the section we've just navigated to, and we can right click, paste, click add. So that's the first one. We've got 3 to make here. So again, go back to the document itself, right click, drag across. So that was left click, drag across, right click to copy. Paste that back into that section. Add. Navigate back to the document. It's basically just repeating the process. Copy, back to the document, click add. Now, there is a quick way actually that you can toggle between the applications, your last applications that you've got open. In order to do that, let me just close this down now because I've added those. Click OK, click OK. In order to do that, if you hold down the Alt key and you click your Tab key, with the 2 arrows to the far left hand side, one pointing to the right, one pointing to the left. If you're holding down the Alt key at the same time, you can actually navigate, as you can see here, to any one of the windows I've got open. Or if I just click them both once, it will toggle between those 2 applications. So it might be worth noting that. It's quite a handy trick actually, if you're just working between 2 documents or 2 different applications, that you can just hold down the Alt key and press the Tab key, and that'll take you between the 2 pages or 2 applications. Again, I'll be doing that a lot because it's quicker, and I'm just using these 2 applications, this document and Internet Explorer, to make the change from. Okay, so the next section we need to make the change to is Pop-up Blocker. It's saying Tools, Internet Options, Privacy this time, and then Pop-up Blocker. And then click the Settings button. Tools, Internet Explorer, Security, or sorry, Privacy. And there's the button for Settings. Click on that. And you can see here it's asking for us to enter the new URL, so click back to the document, right click, sorry, left click even, copy the whole thing, include the star because that's saying any URL before or after to include. Right click, copy, and just paste that into there. Click add, close. Click OK. Okay, that was all the changes we need to make in Pop-up Blocker. So internet zones, security zones. Okay, now this may be slightly different for me because I'm using a slightly different version of of operating system. I'm using Windows 10 because this is on my works laptop, and I'm currently doing some testing for Windows 10. It shouldn't make that much difference. The only thing is the display mixed content might be slightly different for me, but essentially you're looking for display mixed content, or you'll be looking for the one I'm about to make the change to, but we'll see that in a second. So tools, internet options, security, trusted sites, and then click custom level. Tools, internet options, security. We can see what are we looking for? Custom level. Okay, and we're looking for display mixed content. Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to be different on mine. So we're just scrolling down. So I think this is the one I'm going to need to change, display video and animation on web page. But we'll see. I think that's the one I'm going to need to change. There's not going to be any other display options for me. No. Okay, so let's go back. So I'm looking for that display option again. Okay, and I need to enable that. So if you haven't got this display mixed content type, look for the display video and animation on the web page and enable that. So either make the change to this if you've got it, display mixed content type, click enable, or click enable on the display video and animation on the web page. Click OK. Are you sure you want to make this change? Yes, I do. Click apply, click OK. Okay, that's done. Next section we've got is to preserve favourites. What does it want us to do? It wants us to uncheck the preserve favourite website data. Okay, in order to do that, we need to go into options, general, browsing history. Click on the delete button. On here, I don't actually want to get rid of my browsing history. I want to keep my browsing history. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck the preserve favourites. If I delete my browsing history, then there's things that I want to keep, that I want to have quick access to. It shouldn't make any difference. You shouldn't need to delete your browsing history. Essentially, all we're looking really to do is to get rid of our preserved favourite website data. So we'll go and find that and we'll uncheck that. So again, tools, internet options, security. Actually, it's on the general tab. Go back to the general tab. Browsing history, which is in this section here. Click on settings. Actually, no, sorry, I'll tell a lie. Click on delete. And if you've got this preserve website favourite data ticked, just untick it. If I click cancel now, there wasn't an apply button, but it does actually remove it. So I'll make the change. Although you're cancelling it, it still makes the change. Click apply, click OK. Back to a document. Okay, so the next section is in tabs. Internet options, general tabs. Click settings. It wants us to enable the tabbed browsing. It says here in brackets, requires restarting Internet Explorer. I think quite a lot of you probably have that already ticked, but we'll check in a second. When a pop-up is encountered, always open pop-ups in a new tab. Okay, so there's essentially two changes we might have to make. Let's go and have a look. Tools, Internet Options, which is where we've been going the whole time. In the General tab, these tabs. Okay. Enable tabbed browsing. So again, this is slightly different. So I've got enable tab groups here. I don't have enable tab browsing. I have got always open in a pop-ups in a new tab. So essentially I needed to click that one. And mine's slightly different, so mine's enable tab groups, but you'll be looking for enable tabbed browsing or enable tab groups, so make sure both of those are checked. Click OK. Click Apply, click OK. And that's that section done. It mentions hang resistant feature of IE9 here. I think this isn't really relevant because I think everyone should be on 10 or hopefully 11 by now of Internet Explorer. So we can essentially skip that section. It's not really relevant to us. Okay, so favourites. Many of you will probably have a favourite already within your Internet Explorer favourites. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Internet Explorer, and we're going to remove our Peppermint shortcut that we've already got. Now the way to do that, if you've already got a shortcut pointing to the old environment, we just need to delete the shortcut we've got. The way to do that is to right click on it and then just click delete. That's it, it's gone. So to create a new one, all we need to do is type in the URL. So we'll click on a new tab here. It's opened up a clean tab. Click within the URL. Click backspace, that deletes that line out. Now we're going to type in the new address. So the new address to point to the new live environment is https://@waters.ptl.platform.com. Okay, now before I do anything else here, what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to refer to this URL again, I'm just going to copy it. So same way as we've been doing it. Left click, drag across to highlight the URL, and then just left click, or even right click this time, and copy. So let's save the URL for me. Just make sure I click at the end of this URL now. So I'm on that top line, click enter, and that'll take me to the new URL, or to the new Peppermint live environment. Okay, now what I want to do here is I want to actually create a new favourite. So it's on my toolbar here. It's quick for me to access. So I'm going to click on the Add to Favourites button. That's created a new button, but as you can see, it's slightly different. Because this is a redirection URL, it's actually changed the URL that we first typed in. Now I don't want this new URL it's changed it to. I want it to be the original URL. So on the new shortcut here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to right click on the shortcut, go to properties, and it's highlighted the URL for me, which is a very strange looking URL. Now a couple of seconds ago you'll remember that we copied the original URL. Well, there was a good reason for that. That's because I just want to paste it straight over the top. So you can either Control V or right click and paste. But essentially we want the correct URL in that window. Click Apply, click OK. Again, I want this to be slightly more meaningful. Sign in doesn't really tell me what it's going to sign into. So right click on it again, rename. I'm just going to call it New Peppermint Sign In. Okay. So what we've got here is we've now got our new Peppermint sign in URL, so we can test that now. So on here, I'm just going to close that tab down, click on a new tab. I'm going to click on our new shortcut, or on our favourites bar. Okay, and that's opened up a new window, and it's pointing to the right location, which is great. Again, don't worry, because this is redirected us, because it's always going to use our correct URL that's in the in our new shortcut. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for a second. We'll toggle back to the document. What have we done? So we've created a new favourite, so essentially that's all complete. You can forget this bit here because that's not relevant to us, they're just examples. So yeah, don't copy and paste this this information, because obviously that's just an example. And the next section it wants us to make changes to the Outlook CRM. So at this stage we're pretty much finished with making changes with the Internet Explorer, and we're moving over to the CRM section. Okay. Okay, the first thing we need to do in order to make changes to the CRM add-in is close down Outlook, because we can't make any changes to it whilst Outlook is open. So if we shut down Outlook, click on the Start button, and then you'll need to click on your All Programs and scan all the way down and look for your CRM Dynamics drop-down box and click the Configuration Wizard. Okay, you can see here that we've got an entry in for the old platform. So this is pointing to the old platform, and we need to delete that and add a new section in there. So we'll highlight that, click delete, click yes. Takes a couple of seconds to remove, click add. Okay, so here we're going to put in the new details, which again is https:// @waters.ptl platform.com. Click on test, make sure that it's going to connect. Again, this is just going off and trying to see if it can establish a connection. Takes a couple of seconds, and then we should be able to point it to the new live environment. But first we need to put our Peppermint details in. So you'll need your Peppermint login details, which you have all been emailed. You should all have your Peppermint password. So here we just enter the username, which is your email address. So I'll pop in my email address in here. And here you need to enter your specific Peppermint password. Click OK. And you can see it's now pointing to the right environment, so it's Atwaters. I've actually some people might have two if you've got access to the test environment. Here it looks like I've only got access to the live environment. I don't have access to the test environment, which is fine for the time being. So make sure it's on Atwaters. Display name is Atwaters, which you should be in there already. Click OK. Again, it's going to take a couple of seconds just to check your credentials, check your connection, and configure it properly. This can take a couple of minutes just to connect and finalise the configuration for Outlook. This is basically what gives you your integration within Outlook to Peppermint. So within Outlook you can access Peppermint, and you don't actually need to use the URL. You can do everything from within Outlook. But it's an either or, and it also configures the set regarding options within Outlook as well, so you can tag emails to your clients and have them connected to the matter. So if we just hold out until that's finished connecting. Okay, finally that finished doing the configuration work. Return me back to this screen. It did take about 3 or 4 minutes to do that. You just need to hang back and wait for that to finish. It can take up to 5 minutes to complete, and possibly if you've got a slower connection it could take slightly longer, but as soon as it's complete you can close that down and we can restart Outlook again. So Outlook for the first time again may take a few seconds because it's got to add all the add-ins back in and make the changes to Outlook on the first time it starts up. So again, this could take a few minutes. See at the bottom and on the Outlook box that it is processing. Okay, so we've been returned back. We've got Outlook back open. Now on the bottom here, depending on how you've got your view set up, you might have an Atwaters button on the bottom here. My view doesn't have a button, the App Waters button there, but yours might. If it hasn't got the App Waters button on the toolbar at the bottom here, you can go down here and you'll have an option here, which I've got, which says App Waters. Click on that, and that takes me into Outlook. Just to show you how it works, if I click on Practice Management, again you can see it's flickering and it's wanting to open it up. The first time, do I want to join the customer experience? Not at this time, so click on that, and then we've got a bunch of options here. You can go into different things within Peppermint. Click the drop down box. Again, you can see them all running down here as well. I'm not going to go into how to use Peppermint here because that's not what this is about, so that was just to prove that that worked. Okay, so for the last section that we need to update now is just pertaining the Leaf Gateway instructions. As you can see, I've got the new gateway address here, so same thing applies. If we highlight that, right click, copy that address. Right at the bottom of the screen we've got the up arrow key. Click on that, and that shows us we've got the Peppermint leaf currently connected, so we'll click on that. You need to make sure that you've got version 1.12 running. If you haven't got version 1.12 running, you need to get that installed. There were some instructions that Simon sent out probably 4 or 5 months ago now, with how to upgrade that to the latest version. If you can't find those instructions, or you haven't followed them and you're not on version 1.12, you'll need to raise an IT ticket to get your Peppermint leaf upgraded. Presuming that you have got the right leaf, if you click on the settings button here, all you need to do is highlight this gateway address here, delete that, and paste in the new one that you've just copied. Okay. The various other bits and pieces that you can do in here, for example, in general, you can click and highlight automatically log onto the server or the platform, which is essentially the same thing. Documents, time recording, you can click launch button, so it continually shows you the time recording button there. But I'm not really going to show you anything else with regards to that. Because it's literally all we're doing is changing the gateway address. So once you've highlighted that, you've pasted that in, you should have your username and your password there anyway, and just click OK, and that's done. It'll take a few seconds probably just to make that change. You can see that it's making the change in the background. The leaf has gone grey. That's it, now it's eventually turned green. Again, you can double check that just by clicking in there, and you'll see that as long as it's green, it's connected. So you're merging the documents and all the rest of the functionality with regards to the leaf should work fine. That's it. The rest of the document refers to some scripts. Again, those scripts, you don't need to do anything with those. You can just ignore that, and all the changes should be made, and you should be ready to connect to the new environment. If you have any issues at all, we will be able to resolve them, but you will need to raise IT requests, and just bear with us, because obviously, you know, the more of you that aren't able to follow these instructions, the more calls that we're going to have, and it's going to take time to get around to everyone. But hopefully with this video and the instructions and working side by side, with the video and the instructions to hand. They're relatively straightforward and hopefully easy to follow. Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot.